Tommy Soprano. If you love sports without the fluff, he's got the master plan. 'Cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham, yeah.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to a very special Top 10 Tuesday in the Doghouse. I'm not sure we'll get to a Top 10 today, but if I were to do a Top 10, I could do the Top 10 most beautiful places I've ever broadcast a show from, and this would be one of them because we are broadcasting from the highest point in Huntsville up at the Ledges Country Club, some 1,500 feet above the city. I'd love to hear from people who have played this track. I now want to play this track, although the hole I'm looking at, which I don't even know, Tyson says it's number 1. So the first hole, that might be my last hole. I'd snap hook a sleeve of balls over into the woods on the left here, and that would be the end of that. It is a very, very beautiful track, though, here at the Ledges, and we are at the clubhouse at the Ledges, and it's spectacular. I'm just going to tell you right now, the stonework, the building, I had no idea. And I have been in the Tennessee Valley now some 18, 19 years. It had never been up here. And I can't tell you, it's just absolutely beautiful up here. And we are here for Media Day for the Huntsville Championship, exactly 1 month out now from the Corn Ferry event, which will be played here. We will have guests throughout the show from up here, including Tournament Director Penn Garvish, and we'll have former PGA Tour player Spike McCrory bumping around here as well, and he'll join us a little bit later on, as well as the assembled media will have a little luncheon, and then they'll go out and play golf. I am not playing golf. I missed the cut. All right, I missed the cut. We had a little golf tournament at the radio station, and it was Tyson and Moulton that made the cut to play golf here. So I will go on to meetings this afternoon. I will not be playing golf here, but they will play golf. And I can't wait to hear. You'll have to listen tomorrow morning to Scott Tyson to find out how they did. Now, you could contribute to the show today. Everything is the same there. It's 256-576-4977. You can also text the show at 732-9TA-SHOW. Great way to communicate with us. That's 732-982-7469. Now, my personal Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. Just posted a couple of pictures there that may or may not have gone up. The station's Twitter feed is at 97.7 ESPN, and I think Steve Moulton might have posted a picture or two there, and those will go up here shortly if they're not up already. We are on Twitch at 97.7 ESPN, where you can watch the show, as well as on YouTube. You can check it out there. So follow us on Twitch and subscribe at YouTube. The YouTube channel is 97.7 ESPN The Zone. You can like and subscribe there. Just go to 977ESPN.com. You'll get links to all of that stuff. And while you're at it, get the app. I mean, you need to have the app. Over 2,000 people have the app in their pocket right now. You need to get the app as well. You can find links to Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4 as well, all our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. So for those of you that don't know, the Great Unwashed, the Corn Ferry Tour, it's basically the AAA of professional golf. And the top 25 finishers at the end of the season in points are awarded PGA Tour cards. You know, that's exactly what Huntsville native Lee Hodges did last year, and he is now a PGA Tour rookie. And Lee has 2 top 10 finishes already this season, and he has earned over $800,000 already this season. He is 81st in FedEx points, which is really impressive for a rookie to top 72, make the FedEx playoffs. And last year he finished T41 here. He had a rough third round here last year and finished tied for 31st. But, you know, this year he was third at the American Express in La Quinta. He was 9th at the Honda Classic in Florida. And the season really is just getting going. Paul Barjan, I think that's how you say his last name, Paul Barjan, he won this deal last year in a 3-way playoff, and he took home over $108,000 in winnings for that. You know, Scott Tyson is here. I'm going to drag him over to a microphone. Scott, grab a microphone there and jump on with me, because I know you've been intimate with this tournament since it started. It was the starts and stops of it. It was supposed to start a couple of years ago, and, of course, we had the COVID situation and everything else, and we finally got this thing going. You guys were supposed to play here in the media day yesterday or last year.
I played.
Oh, I thought
I played one hole.
Oh, I thought there was a deluge. Okay, so one hole got you
played,
thrown off.
We played one hole in the rain, and I played 10. And it was a light fog, and it was raining. It was cold. It was probably about 45 degrees. And when you get invited to play up here, you never turn it down.
Right.
And so it was raining, and I wasn't going to stop. I was like, I'm playing. And after one hole, I'm like, we're done.
Yeah, no,
So-
that is it. Now, you have played here before, though.
Yes.
You've had the opportunity,
Yes.
being the superstar that you are, you have had the opportunity to come up here and play this private club. This is
I have very nice friends. Let's just put it that way.
Right, your friends have called you up here and play. Now, you have friends in high places. I have friends like on the grounds crew. Some dude, a couple of guys that are listeners that are on the grounds crew.
Hey.
They have called me and said, hey, you come on up and play.
That's the best. If you got the grounds crew, because I believe the club is closed on Mondays.
Right.
I want to say it's Mondays that it's closed. And that's when sometimes if you know the grounds crew, you can come up here and play on a Monday when nobody's up here, if you know the right people.
Well, my son knows some of the right people because a very good friend of his from college, Bailey Lowry, his father, Dr. Lowry, is one of those vein doctors, vein specialist doctors. They actually live up here. And when my son, he'll spend a couple of nights a week up here with Bailey. Funny thing is, Bailey actually interned for me at a former radio station, and it's another communications major that's graduating this year from UAH. But they live up here. But my son is he's worried a little bit about the brakes on his car, so he has Bailey actually pick him up at the bottom of the hill and drag him up here. It's not bad. I mean, it wasn't.
If he's worried about the brakes on his car, shouldn't you be worried about the brakes on his car too?
I told him, I said, if the brakes on your car are an issue going down the hill from the ledges, we need to get the brakes on that car straightened out. It's a 2007 Mustang. And he needs to get that, but you know how it is when you're 21 years old. You wait until the rotors are all tore up and they're squealing and everything else. But it was actually a very pleasant drive up here. It's a very mild drive up here. I had never been up here before, but it's really nothing to get up here. And the tournament itself, were you here at all for the tournament last year during
I came
the play?
out. We did the show here 2 days, and then I came out on Saturday and Sunday and watched the leaders play on both days. Now it was about like this weather. It was cold. It was windy for all 4 days. Sun came out a little bit, but the fear was not fear, but the expectation was that these long hitters would come up here and tear up this golf course. And when Spike comes on, he'll know a lot more about how they handled it. But they did. The long hitters came up here and just bombed the golf course. It was fun to watch. It was fun to see, especially watching them come down 18, which is to your right. That is 18 coming down there. And man, they just killed this golf course.
15 under got you into the playoff, right? There was 3 players at 15 under, which when you think about what does it play to a par 71 for the pros?
The wind really kept the scores down. That is the one thing that kept the scores from getting too low last year was the wind.
Well, 15 unders. It's not.
It
It's
could have
pretty
been
low.
lower. It
could have been even lower than
yeah,
that.
No.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they can do for it. What does it play from the tips?
Oh,
Do you
boy.
know? Is it got to be 7,400 feet from the tips?
I think
or yards
so.
from the tips, I would think.
I think that's about what I want to say. It was 75 or 76 last year.
Oh my gosh!
But
Yeah,
that's
is long.
nothing for these guys. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And that's the other thing about the Corn Ferry Tour. And I have some experience with this. My father actually sponsored a golfer that was playing the mini tours of Florida, trying to make it to the Q school and make it onto the tour back years ago. And when I was in college myself, and I played college golf, so I looped for him. I would spend the summers going out and looping for him, playing events that were, the AAA level events,
right?
Of the PGA Tour. It's stunning how many great golfers are out there. These guys, I mean, look at Lee. Lee goes right to the PGA Tour. He's won grand already.
Right.
They're really good.
Yeah, Lee Hodges, former Alabama golfer, Ardmore native. I mean, he came up here last year. You can tell where Lee Hodges was playing because this was as close as he has gotten to play professionally in his life. And so, I mean, the crowd was fantastic to watch Lee Hodges play. And, this is, you got to go all the way back to when Spike was playing. I believe not Canebrake, the one down there by Arab hosted the Nike Open back in the day. And that was, I think, the last time. I mean, we had the Hooters Tour that came through the municipal golf course, and then it played Burning Tree. But last year was the first time that we had professional golf here in North Alabama at this level, and it was just fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I would venture to say this is the highest level, the best golf that we have seen in this region, certainly. And Lee last year, was 69-69 the first 2 days, and then he blew up on day 3, had that 75 on Saturday, and he came back with a good round on Sunday to get to 41st in it. But, top 25 guys automatically move on to the PGA Tour. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I want to say he was close to the top 25 going into this event last year. And then, he was close to getting that card. But there were several other I think there was 2 other golfers that showed up here last year. If you win, I think, is it 3 events on the Korn Ferry Tour, you automatically get your card anyway.
Oh, beyond the 25.
Beyond the 25.
Yeah.
So if you win, so there was another guy that had a chance. I think there were 2 guys that came in here last year that had a chance. Had they won here, they automatically would have gotten called up and gotten ahead to the tour even last year. I mean, that they would have left the Korn Ferry Tour in the middle of the year and been on the PGA Tour.
The cut here last year was 1 under. So, I mean, it played that's that says something for the course. You know what I mean? I think the guys that set up the course are proud of that when they say, look, you had to shoot just about par or 1 under to make the cut. This isn't the Bob Hope Desert Classic where you're going to shoot 30 under.
The greens are something here, too, as well. You'll find out there's different breaks. The old saying is everything breaks down towards the valley. No matter where you're standing at on the green, it breaks down towards the valley. And putting can be an adventure, and it will be today. I can't wait to see how Steve handles the greens once he gets there.
It's breezy. It's a little bit breezy, and that to me is the worst thing. To me, playing in rain, if it's like just a light rain but there's no wind, doesn't bother me at all. The wind freaks me out, especially when it's dead into the you're right into the teeth of it and everything. The wind is the thing that is the bane of golfers, and I would think on this track that the wind could be a heck of an issue. The elevation between some of the holes and from tee to green, and the elevation between holes is amazing. You have to be does anybody walk this place? You have to be a billy goat to walk this thing.
There's a lot of guys that walk it. There's a lot of the members that'll walk it. The thing is when you play 1 and 2, so you got to cross the street, and what you're looking at to your left is 2 right there. Those sand traps, that's what you're seeing. That's 2. Once you complete 2, you have to. I mean, if you want to walk it down the hill, you can, but it is almost straight down. 3, 4, 5, and 6 are separate from the rest of the golf course, and when you come up the hill on the left-hand side, you notice there were golf holes right there on the left.
Right.
That's 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think the story goes that when they built the golf course, they forgot and they ran out of room on the top, and so they had to put 3, 4, 5, and 6 down there. That's why it's completely separate from the rest of the golf course. But you have to your cart is like an S going down. I mean, it is straight down, getting down to 4, 5, and 6.
Are the carts 4-wheel drive diesels or what? Did he use electric cart? Are they able to use electric carts here for the most part?
It is so fun during the middle of the summer. If you get back up here in the middle of the summer and you're driving your cart down the fairway, the grass is so tight on the fairway that your cart goes like this. It kind of shimmies a little bit across there because the grass is so awesome.
Yeah. It looks like a tremendous track and in great shape. And for the folks that come to the tour, because that's what this is all about. This is about the Huntsville Championship, which will be contested here at the end of the month. I think it's the 28th through the 1st is when the actual tournament will be contested. For folks that come here, it seems like there's plenty of parking, and there are good vantage points. It's not like there are places that looks like I see grandstand and a couple of places going up, and it seems like there are spots where you could get where you could see multiple holes at once. You, as somebody who's been to the tournament, give the listener a little bit of an idea where they'd want to go vantage point wise.
Yeah, what it is what they did last year and what they'll do again this year, and I'm sure Penn will fill all the blanks. You will park at the old Grissom High School.
Oh.
And you park down there, and there's shuttle buses that take you up here to the golf course. And it's a free shuttle. And you get up here, and the best spot to look, really, is you can watch them coming in on 9, and because the putting green or the green to 1 is right there, and it backs up to 9, so you can watch them there. You can watch them tee off on 10, which is right around the clubhouse, and you can watch them finish on 18. So you've got 4 different areas within like 200 yards just to walk, and it's not very far. You don't have to go very far to see them. And then obviously you can watch them tee off on 1, finish on 18, come in on 9, putt on 1, and tee off on 10. So it's all right around here.
Wow.
I mean, it's easy to see, and they do a great job of people coming up the shuttle, going down the shuttle. And, one of our great sponsors, McCurry Motors, handled all the shuttles last year. So they did a fantastic job of making that happen.
And one of the, by the way, Scott Tice, you know the voice, you know the face too, but he's kind of behind the camera, so you're not catching him there on the camera. But, Paul Barjan won this thing last year. These guys are not playing for chump change. $108 to win. And the 2 guys that were in the playoff with him, Mito Pereira and Billy Kennerly, split $90,000, so $45,000 for T2 for those 2 guys each. So these guys are playing for some serious money out here.
And I want to say, yes, and starting this year, in 2022 and 2023, the Korn Ferry actually is going to increase its purses over the next 2 seasons, with all tournaments featuring of a purse of at least $1 million.
Wow.
By the 2023 season. So this tournament was a 3-year, 4-year commitment for the Ledges. So they're going to see that increase go up by the time next year hits. That's going to be at least $1 million purse here at the Ledges.
Yeah, that is absolutely tremendous, and it's great to be out here. The facility itself, I know they host a lot of weddings and things like that, but this clubhouse was spectacular. I've been around golf courses my whole life. I've played at Hilton Head. I've played, Oak Hill Country Club was our home course when I played in college. Back in the day up in Rochester, New York. We played at Rhinocroy Country Club. I played a lot of great places, seen a lot of great places. But this clubhouse is as beautiful a piece of property as I've ever seen. I mean, it
took forever to get built. Ask some of the members how long it took to get built, because originally, or when they first opened, the golf course opened first ahead of the clubhouse. The clubhouse was not built, and they were just out of trailers for a while.
Wow. And
there was a trailer that would park up. I mean, there was little portables that were in here in the parking lot, and that was the clubhouse. That was the pro shop. It was all out of portables, and it just took forever because the golf course opened actually ahead of the clubhouse.
Yeah, and of course the neighborhoods that are around here too. Not a lot of starter homes, I don't think. Here at the Ledges, I'm just thinking you don't get a lot of starter homes up here. I mean, it's really something. All right, that's Scott Tyson joining me as we get things kicked off here to start at the Ledges here. It's media day, and business will be picking up. The assembled media will be having a luncheon coming up a little bit later on, 11:30 or so. But joining us coming up in just a few minutes will be Penn Garvish. He is the tournament director, and he'll join us here on site. We'll do that next. Coach Grizz is mixing. We don't want you to think that he's not back there. We'll get him in a little bit later on. But right now we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Penn Garvish will join us right here. It's the Thom Abraham Show on location at 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up
now. The Toyota Owners 400 at Richmond Raceway on Sunday. Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott co-favorites at plus 900. Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano each at plus 1,000. The NIT Final Four tonight at Madison Square Garden. St. Bonaventure takes on Xavier in Game 1 with the Bonnies a 1.5-point favorite. The over-under at 140. In Game 2, Washington State a 1.5-point underdog against Texas A&M. The set total at 133. Just over a week to go until the start of the Major League Baseball season. The Atlanta Braves plus 135 to win the NL East. The New York Mets the favorite at plus 125. The Phillies plus 550. The Marlins plus 1,000. And the Washington Nationals plus 3,000.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental on the South Memorial Parkway. Did you know that Valley Equipment Rental is independently owned and operated by local folks right here in the Valley? They are celebrating 10 years into business this year and have grown to be North Alabama's largest supplier of rental skid steers and mini excavators. Now, if you have a question about what tool to use, just call them at 964-6081, and the pros at Valley Equipment will get you into the tool that you need for your specific project. Valley Equipment, more care in every rental.
Hey Huntsville, listen up. The demand for lakefront property on Lewis Smith Lake is growing and the supply is depleting. We've got lakefront, lake access, and RV properties for one day only, April 9th. Gentle sloping, wooded home sites, and RV sites on dockable water, all surrounded by Bankhead National Forest. Complete with lakefront clubhouse, swimming pool, boat ramp, and community docks in a private gated community. Over 1 acre of lakefront, just $59,900. Gentle sloping, full-time dockable RV sites starting at $99,900. If you know Smith Lake, you know full-time RV sites to have your own dock on are a rare find. You do not want to miss this. Call 877-BIG-VIEW for more information. One day only, Saturday, April 9th. Call 877-BIG-VIEW for more information. That's over 1 acre, $59,900, full-time RV site on dockable lakefront, only $99,900. 877-BIG-VIEW to arrange a visit Saturday, April 9th. Call or click 877bigview.com.
Hey, Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford back again to talk to you about how easy it is to make a custom factory order. Just click woodyandersonford.com, hit the top banner, then start making your selections. It's really simple, and you'll end up with the exact vehicle you want. Not only is there no extra charge to custom order, but at Woody Anderson Ford, we'll take 5% off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates on the 2022 F-150, Bronco Sport, Explorer, Expedition, and Ranger. Another option for you is a certified pre-owned. We have over 100 Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned models to choose from. Our Ford Gold certified are low mileage, gently used with great warranties. They've passed a 175-point inspection by certified technicians and come with a 24-hour roadside assistance, plus a full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Also, don't forget our service department is offering a free pickup and delivery when it's time for your next Ford service. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
The PGA Tour's Corn Ferry Tour is coming to the Rocket City. Join us at the Ledges for the Huntsville Championship, April 29th through May 2nd. Experience the beauty and drama of the course firsthand. Witness golf's rising stars chase their PGA Tour dreams. Cheer on the future of golf up close and personal. Tickets are on sale now at HuntsvilleChampionship.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly to mostly cloudy sky for your Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. Somebody could see 80 degrees. Would not be the least bit surprised if somebody over in northwest Alabama did in fact see 80 degrees. We only drop into the upper 50s and lower 60s as we head into the overnight. Upper 70s and lower 80s consistently on Wednesday afternoon. We are going to be dealing with some rather breezy conditions on Wednesday. Sustained winds 20 to 25 miles per hour. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Local sports is covered right here.
Well, appreciate what you guys do for sports, but also for high school sports and taking time to talk to us. That means a lot, and appreciate what you guys do and appreciate you having us on.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Chuck Oliver. Listen to me coming up today at noon. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. For all your equipment rental needs, it's Valley Equipment Rental. With a second location now out off the North Memorial Parkway, north of Winchester Road. For the contractors, you'll find the bigger dozers and excavators and all that equipment out there. And then, of course, South Memorial Parkway, you can still get everything that you need to get your job done like a pro at Valley Equipment Rental. We are on location at the beautiful ledges high above Huntsville, 1,500 feet above Huntsville. At least that's what they tell me. I didn't measure it myself, but that's what they say. Penn Garvish is joining us now. He is the tournament director here. And those of you that are watching the show on Twitch and on YouTube, see that is awarded. Welcome to the show. How are you, man?
Tom, appreciate it. Doing great. 27 days out. Hard to believe.
27 days out. You look at the course. Obviously, the assembled media will play. I drew the short straw. I'm not playing today. My boys are going to play here, but I'm not playing. But you look at the course, and it's already. I mean, for March shape, it's in great shape for March shape. But it's amazing how much will change between now and a month from now as things start to really green up.
Yeah, and I think with obviously more sun the better. Things dry up a little bit. Will definitely help with the course conditions, but. Ultimately, come Monday of tournament week, balls are in the air, and we got to play.
Yeah, and last year, obviously an extremely competitive event. It went to a 3-hole playoff. $108,000 to the winner. I understand they're boosting the money, though. Is that going into effect this year?
Yeah. So starting this year, there's a handful of tournaments that were kind of at that $600K purse mark. Those will bump up to $750, and then a few others that are already at $1 million mark. Those that are on the Korn Ferry Tour Finals, so your last 3 events. And it's just a testament to to the tour, to the Korn Ferry,
right.
And just the product that they're building out, and just more incentive. Just the level of play is second best to the PGA Tour.
It blows my mind. It's just how good these guys are. I mean, the top 25 guys in points will move up to the PGA Tour. I consider this the AAA level, basically, of PGA golf. But when you come out and you see them play, I mean, these guys all play high-level college golf. There are a few of them that had their card, lost their card, come back, work back to get in. But it really is stunning, the level of play. I honestly don't believe to the naked eye you notice that much of a difference between if you're at this event or if you go off to a PGA Tour event.
No, they're all as good as advertised, and some unique stats around the Korn Ferry Tour guys. So 82% of all PGA Tour guys right now are Korn Ferry Tour graduates. And in terms of the graduates from last year, 62% of those guys are first-time tour card guys. And then the membership this year, so 32% are new on the Korn Ferry Tour.
Yeah, that's amazing, and see how these guys do. And Lee Hodges from here, he was T41 here at the tournament last year, but he did graduate to the PGA Tour. And here he is. He's got a second and a ninth already, and he's won over $800,000. So that tells you something just about the quality of player that a guy like Lee Hodges can play here and then turn around and start making big money out there.
Yeah, and the mission that I developed and win on golf's biggest stage. Lee, perfect example. Paul Baljean. I mean, I think we saw it. Amex, a couple of weeks ago, months ago. Come Sunday, you had Lee and Paul in the lead rolling into Sunday.
That's
and Lee obviously finished and in the top 5 there, the top 10 finish, and I mean, just they're ready to go.
Yeah, and in fact, the kid that burst onto the scene at the Masters, Will Zolotorius, right? I don't know if I'm saying his last name right or not, but he's a Corn Ferry guy, right? Literally like 2 years ago, he was playing on the Corn Ferry Tour and was in contention at the Masters.
Yeah, and he had special exemptions, so that's why he didn't play Corn Ferry Tour last year. He was already elevated, had an elevated status. And you look at, I think it was Farmers, had Luke List in the playoff there, and then had a good run at match play, last weekend, and yeah, I mean they're the level of play. There's not much drop off from the big tour to this tour, and that's why it's labeled the path to the PGA Tour.
Now I understand that too. Something new. The top point getter into Corn Ferry this year goes to the U.S. Open, gets qualified for the U.S. Open. Is that true?
Yes, and there are some unique incentives that are kind of built in there, based off of your point status. Like I said, I mean, always trying to give these guys opportunity and elevate the level of play that the Corn Ferry Tour produces.
Yeah. Now the Huntsville Championship, which is something that you're dealing with on a regular basis. First of all, I understand that you were the one that designed this trophy yourself. Did you sculpt it and everything?
I'm not taking any credit for that. So I kicked, our creative team and I kind of kicked some ideas around, sent it over to a local artist, kind of let him run with it. And first glance when he showed me what he had, I was like, that's probably a little aggressive. But now it's kind of we've got it. It's kind of grown on us, and it's. You kind of made a name for itself.
I think that's pretty cool. Now the winner gets one of these, or
stay
here.
Now we'll keep this, and this is actually kind of our trophy tour, corporate sponsor tour, and so we make sure it makes the rounds around town. And then the same artist, he'll put together a mini replica that we'll send off to the player. And obviously kind of the cool opportunity there, similar to Lombardi Trophy or some of those, or the Stanley Cup, where we can continue to add the champion names on it. And add pedestals as we keep going.
And the player, though, gets some sort of a replica.
Basically. Yep. So, like I said, the artist will create somewhat of a mini replica, that we'll send the champion off with.
Yeah, and the $108,000.
And the $108,000. Yeah, I'd say they're probably less concerned about the trophy than the cash and the points.
You'd have to have a pretty good sized trophy case, I think, for this one here. And Huntsville Championship. This area is a little bit unique in as much as that, well, of course, you got the Rocket here, and it's known as the Rocket City. Right. It's also known as the Tennessee Valley. I mean, there were a lot of different ways that you could have gone in terms of the naming of this event as well, and you settled on Huntsville Championship, which I know makes folks in Huntsville very, very proud to have that into the name.
Right. Yeah, and that's a testament to the city kind of being the first one in terms of the sponsorship piece, and only makes sense, that it is labeled as the Huntsville Championship. And now as we progress and, fingers crossed, comes a title sponsor, and, we can kind of elevate it a little bit more. It might change, but for now we're satisfied and, extremely proud of what we've built here, and, proud of that the city.
Well, for this year, I mean, we could call it the 97.7 ESPN The Zone Huntsville Championship. I mean, we give you, like a free lunch or something.
We can do that.
We could do a trade, with some along those lines. Talk about the deal with the ledges, because this is a spectacular piece of property. I mean, this is just absolutely something to see, and obviously it's a private golf course, so a lot of the folks that will come to the tournament, they've never been up here before or haven't played the track. But talk about the deal with the ledges and how important it is to have it at what is the premier, place really in all of the valley.
Yeah, and you hit it right there. I mean, this is the premier property, premier course. And the Corn Ferry Tour made a visit here and said, hey, this is one that we need to have, and sets up well to be top 5, top 3 courses out there on the tour. And ownership group, leadership group here has been incredible. You've been great partners and kind of getting us set up here. And you mentioned it earlier too, where for a lot of folks here in Huntsville and kind of the surrounding area may not necessarily have access to get up here. And so for us, trying to leverage that for whether it's ticket sales, it's volunteers, and okay, hey, here's your opportunity to kind of get up there and see these views and kind of participate in what is a pretty remarkable event.
We're exactly 1 month out. Penn Garvish with us. He is the executive director of the tournament director of the event. I understand, though, that you're still looking for volunteers, still have an opportunity for volunteers. How can they get involved if they want to be out here fixing divots? And they should have some knowledge of golf, to know what they're doing with that stuff. But talk about that and how you can get more volunteers.
So we're sitting at about 430 volunteers. We've got about 12 different committees built out, each with a chair, vice chair. And golf knowledge is not a requirement. Now, so for some of those, such as walking score, standard bearers, it helps to have some knowledge and obviously some experience last year, which is huge, for volunteers. Now I've got some veteran volunteers that can kind of take it and run with it. But still looking for volunteers that are outside the ropes, and that's, some shuttle drivers, shuttling players and caddies to and from point A to point B, hospitality services, admissions. So really something for everybody. So golf knowledge is not necessarily a requirement. It's probably nice to have for some of those that are inside the ropes, and most of those are pretty much full. But really just, unique opportunities for everybody to get involved with.
How do they get involved if they want to volunteer?
So HuntsvilleChampionship.com, you'll have a volunteer registration tab on there. So I would encourage everybody to check out the website for volunteer opportunities as well as ticket opportunities and everything that's taking place up here tournament week.
Talk about the charitable aspect of this whole thing, too, because there's a lot of money that is raised for various charities.
Yep, and so we established a 501c3 once we set foot here in Huntsville and built up the tournament. And with that, we've partnered with the Community Foundation of Greater Huntsville as well as the Huntsville Hospital Foundation. Through those, have created some unique opportunities and unique fundraising experiences, and so we've established a military support fund. We've got a 4 cyber scholarship fund, all running through the Community Foundation. And so, depending on what level of sponsorship you are and kind of what category, we've got some defense and government that obviously is focused towards military and the military support fund. And then we've got partnership with Huntsville City, Madison County Schools, where some money is going back to some scholarships. And so a lot of unique opportunities for us to kind of spread the wealth, and what comes in, we do our part to push back out through the community.
And so people understand the Corn Ferry Tour it's an arm of it's under the PGA Tour
Correct.
umbrella too. It's not like it's an independent thing over there and has a shirt-tail relationship. This is literally part of the PGA's developmental program, if you will, and it is the Corn Ferry is, if you go to PGAtour.com, you can get all the Corn Ferry results and all the information you need to know.
Right, and so as I mentioned earlier, it is the path to the PGA Tour. So previously, years before, where you see guys like Tiger Woods, they just bypass, which was web.com or Nationwide. Obviously, It's had a lot of names, up until now, and we're fortunate to have the strength of Corn Ferry kind of behind it and elevating the product of it. But now every guy that's moving up the ladder is going through the Corn Ferry Tour.
Do they still have the traditional Q school? Do you have to go through Q school to get qualified for the Corn Ferry?
Correct. Yeah, that is the path now. So Q school gets you into Corn Ferry Tour, and then obviously you got Form, you've got Latino America, and some of those other tour, which all kind of filter up through Corn Ferry Tour up to the big tour.
And then the old mini tours. I used to loop for a friend back in the old when I was in college. It was playing the mini tours in Florida and some of those things, and then they worked their way up to, I forget whatever it was called then.
And you'll and they'll have so the APGA Tour. You've got a lot of to your point, mini tours that kind of follow along with those Monday qualifiers. So come here. Right. Monday, April 25th, we'll have a Monday qualifier, and then prior to that, probably 2 or 3 days that weekend, you got a lot of guys that are playing. At the local courses, just trying to keep it live.
Yeah, and how many guys actually, when you talk about moving on to the tour, how many guys are actually got PGA Tour cards? And I would imagine if they're putting 25 in, that means that they're losing some group. Obviously, there's a group of guys that fall off that lose their PGA Tour card to make room for these 25 guys that come in.
So like you said, so the 82% of all tour players right now have come up through the Corn Ferry Tour, which is an incredible number. Obviously, like I said, there's a small crack of some folks that didn't make it through, just bypassed the Corn Ferry Tour. But the stats are pretty impressive, and like I said, these guys are primed and ready.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And I know the deal here was for another couple of years, I believe. It was a 4-year deal or something like that.
We got a 5-year deal in place. So fortunately, we didn't lose a year with COVID, but we just kind of extended that timeline. And so we've now got 5 years to play 6. This will be the second one. And it's and it's good to see where this is kind of a full year cycle for us, at least just seeing without the COVID piece, where it was 2 years of planning. And then, now we can finally get one off the ground, last year. And so for us, this is kind of actually the true routine now where, hey, we've had one. All right, now let's start again, and we've got a full year cycle.
And you need that. You need to build that up so it becomes a traditional thing. Do you feel good about the future beyond that? I mean, that this could be a permanent location for the Corn Ferry here in Huntsville.
Yeah, I feel great. And like I said, I mean, the city is the first. Well, it was the first one in, and we've received incredible support from the corporate sponsors, the corporate community, as well as volunteers, ticket buyers. Obviously the ledges here. Everybody has stepped up in a huge way. I mean, we battled through a COVID year, and majority of those folks that, hey, we committed in 2020, stuck on board for 21, saw what they liked last year, and now we're off and running with a lot of that consistency.
When's the planning start for the 2023 event?
Right now.
Already working.
We're on it. We're on it.
On next year, right? Penn Garvish has been our guest. Well, Penn, I got to ask you, have you played it from the tips yourself?
I have not. And I'll be honest with you, I hadn't picked up a club. It's probably been since October.
Wow. I thought I was.
And as much time as I spent up here, I mean, a lot of it is operational focused. I mean, I'm driving around and my head.
Tell them, look, I got to go out and just make sure.
My head's on a swivel. And a guy asked me yesterday, he's like, I mean, you don't have time to break away for 9 holes. I was like, no, but I couldn't justify that either. So
yeah.
I'll watch everybody else play it and connect with you after.
I was going to play this afternoon. I had that experience where I played in college, and then after life happens, you play less and less, and the game kind of goes away a little bit. And when the game goes away, you don't want to play anymore. All of a sudden, you're a 12 handicap or something. This is no fun. And I quit for 10 years, and then came back to it and made peace with the fact that that's what I'm going to be. I had gotten all the way back down to about 11, and then I had some surgery, and I have not picked up 9 holes in the last 5 or 6 years myself, just because of the surgery I had, and just life gets in the way.
Yeah.
But
it's tricky. It's tricky. And I'll say, this time last year, I think we were dealing with a torrential downpour, and we got most of the media out there. At least you got them started, kind of teased.
You played 1 hole.
Kind of got them teased, and then they came right back in. So luckily the weather's going to hold up a little bit. A little bit cooler. But dry out there, and so hopefully they should have a fun day.
How many yards does it play from the tips?
So I believe I'm gonna draw on blank on number 1 because they actually push the tee box back there. I don't know if you've noticed
all the way back there.
Yep. So we're sitting up top there, where last year we played right just short of the cart path here.
Right. That is a long way.
so and adds a different wrinkle to to how they're going to play the course there, and incredible job with from the agronomy team, expanding the practice putting green there, making it a little more user friendly, and then moving the tee box back to the top there.
Wow, that's like driver 2-iron to get it to the top of the fairway out there. That's
they'll get it there.
Oh, they will.
They'll get it there.
They're so good. It's ridiculous. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us. Penn Garvish has been our guest. Penn, tremendous job here. Great venue, and it's run like a first-rate PGA Tour event. And I wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate you having me, and appreciate all the support.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you,
Penn Garvish. Most important thing he did was open the door for me when I got here earlier, about an hour before the show. He was very helpful at that particular point in time. All right, we're going to get a break here. When we come back, we'll get the phone lines open. We'll get Grizz involved as well. It's all coming up. It's the Thom Abraham Show, live from the Ledges at the Huntsville Championship Media Day on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet, a major fire hazard. Safety is key when replacing an outlet or adding new ones, so leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. I'm sorry, I can't operate on that vehicle.
But doctor, you took an oath.
That RV, it's my son's RV.
Oh, doctor, isn't there anything you can
I'm not a miracle worker, Sheila. I'm an RV surgeon, trained to save the lives of large, injured recreational vehicles, which is definitely a real profession.
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
Spring has sprung with a hint of summer right around the corner. And with all the travel restrictions easing up, now is the time to consider the Lodge at Guntersville State Park for a quick, relaxing getaway. At the Lodge at Guntersville State Park, all the rooms are routinely disinfected and cleaned to the highest standard. And views across Guntersville Lake are as gorgeous as ever. It's been too long, all cooped up at home. Make plans now to spend a weekend at the Lodge or cabins or campgrounds of Guntersville State Park today. Visit alapark.com for more information.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
Born in Fairfield, Alabama, Willie Mays is one of the greatest baseball players to ever play the game. In 22 Major League seasons, mostly with the New York and later San Francisco Giants, Mays had a 302 lifetime batting average and amassed 3,283 hits, 660 home runs, and an untouchable total of 7,095 career putouts from the outfield. Mays was the National League Rookie of the Year in 1951 and played a significant role in the New York Giants World Series victory in 1954. The most memorable moment in Mays' career occurred in the first game of that series when he made a running, over-the-shoulder catch at the warning track, popularly known as the Catch. Mays earned 2 MVP awards, was awarded 12 Gold Gloves, made 24 All-Star Game appearances, and was a first-ballot Hall of Fame inductee in 1979. In 2015, President Barack Obama awarded Mays a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, and this station.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly to mostly cloudy.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show was brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, it's North Alabama Mortgage. Let's say that you're looking at a place up here at the Ledges. North Alabama Mortgage can help you get that done. That's right. They can handle those heavy-duty ledges or heavy-duty mortgages as well on these beautiful properties here. And they can get you into a conventional or VA or an FHA or USDA loan at North Alabama Mortgage. It doesn't matter whether you're here in Alabama or in Florida or Tennessee. They can get it done for you. Brian Hammaker and his team are just tremendous. They're going to treat you like family, and they're going to get you into the best loan possible. So it's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more about that. NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. For the first time, we introduce our good friend, Mr. Coach Grizz, we call him, Chad Gwathney, Coach Grizz, back at the station handling things. And Grizz, I'm out here on the back patio. I'll be honest with you. I'll be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be inside.
I had the music ready, by the way.
I thought I was going to be inside. So it's a little bit, I'm saying, that's all right. We're late in the hour, so I know. But I'm outside. I thought I was going to be inside. Did not bring a jacket.
Yeah.
All right. Did not bring a jacket today. So it's a little bit
frosty, huh?
Brisk out here right now. Yeah. And I understand that when you're 1,500 feet above the floor of Huntsville, it's like 8 or 10 degrees cooler maybe up here.
No, I can feel my ears pop when I drive up there.
It's a little bit chilly. And they forgot the trophy. You know what I mean? Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know who does that. They forgot the trophy.
Forgot it.
I mean, Penn left the trophy out here.
I think they meant to
which
put it
makes
there.
for a good shot.
It looks good on the shot, yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be gone here momentarily, and it's going to be going back inside as they get ready for the media day events that are going to be taking place. But, Grizz, I look forward to being back here in a month and doing the show from out here when there's actual when the tournament is being played. And we've got intern John on his way out here a little bit later on. He's going to shoot some video of Scott and Steve. Now, Scott, I understand Scott can golf his ball a little bit.
Right.
Steve will be comic relief. I think that's what's going to be. Steve will be I can't imagine it's. I think Charles Barkley thinks that Steve's swing sucks. I'm not sure. But I mean, it could be.
Steve was a basketball player. He was an athlete back in the day. I think he's probably. I bet he's got some swing. He can
athlete?
Hey, yeah, he was. He played basketball. And Steve up here on his free time and our little private course on the carpet.
Yeah,
he can make some shots, man. He's
good at putt in the office.
Yeah, he was talking about putting earlier. I was like, I kind of like rolled my eyes a little bit. I was like, I don't know. I was like, you and Steve are pretty good at putting, so we'll see what happens between Scott and Steve. Because I've seen them both. I've seen them both make some shots, consistently. I'll make one in a blue moon.
You talking about putt, or you talking about swinging a golf club?
Putt.
That's a big difference.
When it gets to putting,
I mean, it's a big putt is. Yeah, that's
it's hard
a
to
big
do on that carpet.
Think,
there's a lot of curves on that carpet. There's a lot of bumps on that carpet too.
And if you're, and I'll be totally honest with you, if you're a novice player, and it's not like you can, call up and make a starting time and come out and play the ledges.
Yeah.
But if you're just had a heck of an explosion. Do we know what that was? What is it?
Was that on your end?
Oh, the Arsenal just blew. The Arsenal just blew something up.
Yeah, they probably blew something up.
I mean, I could see the Arsenal. You can't look at the Arsenal. I think if you look at it, they block. There's a curtain up, so you can't see the Arsenal.
They were testing
but you can
something.
see everything
they didn't blow something
from up
up
here.
They were testing something.
They tested something. I think they blew something up.
That's pretty sweet.
And there goes another one. I heard they're blowing up the building 4200 or something like that.
Yeah, my grandfather.
What's the story behind that? Isn't that the building where they built the Apollo? It's something about building 4200. It had something to do with the Apollo rocket, which I have right here next to me. This Huntsville Classic trophy is pretty cool. I got to say that it is, and there's room for a lot of names on there. So this trophy can hang around for a while. And this travels. This stays actually here. This isn't the one that the players get. The players get a replica of this because you'd have to build a new trophy case, I think, to put this thing in. I mean, this thing is pretty. It's a pretty big. It's a pretty good.
You were
trophy.
breaking up a good bit there. Yeah. So building 4200. I mean, that you have no idea how much that means to my family and probably a lot of families in this town. I mean, not only the Apollo mission, Mercury. It's been here since the early '60s. It's something that my grandfather worked many nights, many days as a chief engineer for the NASA program and in his division. And man, I think
they just blew it up because I just heard an awful loud.
It meant a lot to my family. Like we talked about it this weekend. So it's something pretty special for sure. A lot of history behind that building.
Coming up here at the top of the hour, Spike McCrory is going to join us here on set on the back patio at the Ledges. It's very comfortable. It's very comfortable out here. If I didn't have meetings all afternoon, I'd just hang out all day out here at the back patio at the Ledges, and we might do that when we come back for the tournament in a month. I can be honest with you. We're going to break in here. We'll come back. Spike McCrory is next. It's the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hey, this is Justin with the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. We'd like to invite you to North Alabama's premier patio bar and grill, where at the factory, we have something going on each and every night. Monday night, steak night. Tuesday night, karaoke. Wednesday night, the Jeep community comes out for Jeep Jam. Thursday, it's bike night, the biggest in the valley. Friday and Saturday, live concerts on our 4,000 square foot patio, along with drink specials and a beautiful staff. What are you waiting on? We will see you at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill.
Find your rhythm, feed your rhythm at Rhythm on Monroe. Not just a great restaurant and rooftop bar, but the perfect spot to relax and take in a beautiful scenic downtown sunset on the rooftop or patio. Enjoy Chef Becky Vibbert's fresh and delicious fan favorites like braised beef short rib sliders, seasonally inspired fresh salmon dishes, crispy Brussels sprouts, and fresh baked peach walnut cobbler or chocolate chess pie. Open daily at 4 p.m. with brunch from 11 to 3 on Saturday and Sunday on the corner of Clinton and Monroe in the Von Braun Center. Follow Rhythm on Monroe on Facebook.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Baumhauer's Victory Grill is your big game headquarters all fall long. And with our new fall features, every day is game day at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Try our pregame starters, including our homemade onion strings, always fresh hot lips, and our all-new Buffalo Dippin' Chicken appetizer. Our main events include incredible chicken, fish, and shrimp selections, always featuring local Alabama Gulf seafood. And don't forget our Sunday Blitz, 11 to 6. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Redmont Vodka and Vulcan Gin, Alabama-made premium quality spirits, owned by our very own Charles Barkley. 8 times distilled, gluten-free, and non-GMO. Whether you choose to sip Redmont on the rocks or blend it with your favorite mixers, you will definitely be able to taste the difference. Pick up some Redmont Vodka and Vulcan Gin today. Available in ABC stores and package stores. For more information, visit us at RedmontDistilling.com. Also, follow us on Instagram at Redmont Distilling. Support local, enjoy responsibly.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Jimmy Garoppolo might be hanging around San Francisco for the 2022 NFL season. Coach Kyle Shanahan today at the NFL owners' meetings admitted he sees a scenario where the veteran quarterback is on the 49ers roster this upcoming season. Said the surgery he had on his right shoulder delayed trade talks. The QB market a lot different at this point, with teams already having filled their need at the position. When asked who his starter would be if Garoppolo and Trey Lance are on the roster, Shanahan declined to say. Quarterback Cam Newton continuing to explore his options for his playing future, told ESPN's Adam Schefter in a text he has teams interested in signing him. He's waiting, though, on the best fit as it pertains to winning a championship and getting a fair chance to play. The Panthers have left the door open for Newton to compete for the starting job. NBA, Lakers LeBron James and Anthony Davis doubtful tonight in Dallas, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio.
All the press conferences.
It's our mental energy, I would say. Spend less time complaining about, when I was going to get an opportunity. Just spend more time training and working towards.
Plus, all of the rat poison is served up right here.
It's yummy.
On 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elle McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
All right, welcome in, everyone, to the Thom Abraham Show. Looks like Tom's taking a little bit of a break. I don't think he heard me saying that, we're coming back live. I can hear everybody talking in the background. We're going to get with Spike McCroy here in just a second up on the ledges, as it is a beautiful, beautiful day. What I can see from their screen, because, I don't have any windows or anything up here in this attic, the sports attic here in 97.7 ESPN. But since I have a little bit of time, I guess we're not paying attention because Tom said he didn't have we're sitting here trying to talk about what's going on latest in sports. Right now, we still got some World Cup qualifying going on, as of course the United States and Canada, or Canada, I would say, is already qualified, and U.S. and Mexico, and then also Costa Rica will also have a chance as well in a play-in game to try to make the World Cup. But as the big dog is coming in right now, about to sit down and put his headset on, he is shaking hands with one Spike McCroy, getting all set up. I don't know if he's ready. Kind of still standing there, changing his pants a little bit, rearranging, getting in there, kind of sitting there, getting ready. Finally getting in here, ready for his own radio show that he's got going on. Tom, are you ready to get back on on air?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. I did. I made a fatal error. I walked through where they're having the luncheon, and I headed for the bathroom quick.
Oh, jealous.
And then you can't get back. You know what I mean? You're going to get stopped along the way. So I got kind of stopped a couple of times along the way.
Stopped by the complimentary breakfast.
Yeah, I got the Sports Talk radio show that's live.
I get it. At 11.
It's not that I don't have
It's a breakfast
talent
at
here.
11.
I got Moulton here. I got Tyson here. No, it's not a breakfast. It's a luncheon.
Okay,
and the luncheon is at 11:30. I'm trying to get the guys to bring me something out. I'm not sure, but I got Moulton and Tyson here. They could have picked up the ball and ran with it for a minute. You know what I mean? They could have done something along
I can hear you guys
lines,
talking
but,
in the background. So
at least
we
got it going.
I thought I'd update everybody on the World Cup qualifying going on and stuff. I know we were worried about soccer. And
is that what you did? Of all the things that you decided to take your 3 minutes of fame, you went World Cup qualifying. Okay, good. All right, that makes a lot of sense. By the way, we should remind you guys that I will be out of the box for the next 3 days. So we'll be bringing you 2 full hours of Mike Greenberg show, and then an hour of we'll have I don't even know what we're called, Smokey and the
No,
Coach,
I think
or
it's
Smokey
just
and the
me.
Grizz, or
I think it's just
something
me.
like that. We'll have Smokey.
You're on a weird delay.
No.
Yeah,
where's Smokey? He's going to be there.
He can only come like a day. I think Friday maybe.
No Smoke. It's just you.
Yeah, it's just me. Well, and we'll have all the same.
Really?
We'll have Gary's Corner on Wednesday. We'll have Merrill. Well, we may not have Merrill on Thursday. It may just be me on Thursday. But Friday we will have Alan Bell if he answers his phone.
Yeah.
So we're good to go.
Yeah. No, that should happen.
Smokey might come on Friday.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. The service department at Woody Anderson Ford is there for you for all your service needs. It's the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. They do a tremendous job. And don't forget the pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson Ford. The gold certified pre-owned. I've actually bought a 2019 Ford F-150 and a 2019 Mustang from Woody Anderson Ford in the last 6 months or so. So it's a tremendous deal over there at Woody Anderson Ford, and you can take advantage of that. We are joined now by former PGA Tour player Spike McCroy, who I have not caught with in a minute, man. It's been a minute, Spike.
It's been too long.
It's been too long, man. How have you been?
I've been great.
You look great.
Thank you.
You look like you look like you're ready to play.
That's because I don't have to worry about playing golf for a living anymore. I look better.
Yeah. It took a lot of the stress off. I imagine. How much do you play these days?
I try to play once a week. I mean, I'm working full time at Morgan Stanley, so and I love it to death, but it's eating into my golf game, no doubt.
What has it done to the golf game? I try to tell people the story, and it's hard for folks to understand because people would like to go out, and if they can go out and shoot 88 or 90, they're going to enjoy their game and have a good time with it. I played college golf, and then after college, life happened. Got married immediately, started having kids, and the next thing you know, I'm playing once a week and hitting balls once a week. Now I'm a 9, now I'm a 10, and I quit. I just quit because it was I just couldn't fathom. It was just so annoying.
It's hard to get back to that level that you once were playing.
You can't play that way, So I stopped playing for about 10 years. I came back to the game. I was like a 15 when I came back and got it down to about an 11. And, and I made peace with it. I can go out and shoot 86, 87, and I'm feeling fine and having a good time. And then I had some surgery, and I haven't played now in a few years. But what is it like for you, a guy who played? You had some success. You played on a PGA Tour, and now you're playing once a week. I mean, how is that?
And everybody's different, I know. But for me personally, Tom, I accomplished every dream I ever fathomed for golf. I got to play on scholarship at Alabama. I got to play professionally. I got to win multiple PGA sanctioned events. I got to win on the PGA Tour. The only thing that I didn't get to do was play the Masters.
Yeah.
But that wasn't it really was. It's everybody's goal. I would go play today if you said, hey, let's go play Augusta. But,
you had a pretty good U.S. Open once. I did. You had a good run in the U.S. Open, I remember.
I got to play in 5 U.S. Opens, and Shinnecock was probably my most successful, if you want to call it that. I wasn't even close to I was close to the top 10 through probably the second round.
Yeah.
But my goodness, it's just a matter of time on a U.S. Open that it's going to catch up with you when you don't hit it straight, or your iron play isn't sharp, and you're not making everything. But by far my favorite golf course that I played in the U.S. Open was Shinnecock by far. Beth Page being right there with it. Pinehurst was another one that was awesome. But back to me, I really, if I get to go play a Champions event or a qualifier and get it, great. That's awesome. Regions is awesome to me. In Birmingham, they
how much time do you spend leading up to that? Do you take some time and then work on your game a little bit then? Right?
I got my wife and I got to go with some friends of ours to Israel, so that was a 2-week stretch. Last month that aided my playing time, my practice time. But I'll hit it hard right now. Starting this week and going forward up until and through the rest of the year, hopefully, if time allows, but. Success breeds success. If you go have success at regions, that will allow you to do more, allow me to play more golf going forward.
Right.
If you go down there and shoot 75, 76, you're probably back at Morgan Stanley for a while.
But the competitive juices still burn.
Love it. Yeah. Hate the hotels. I hate. the travel. I've been there, done that. It was at the time when I was 20-something years old, it was great. We had energy. My wife could come out and travel with me, and but I'm at peace, like you said.
Right.
I'm at peace where I am right now. Do I still want to go compete? And by the way, that was my family for 20 years.
Right.
So that's my most enjoyable time is to go and see the guys and hang out and catch up and then hopefully compete well. But,
and I don't think the average golfer realizes how these courses are set up. Now, because you played the Champions and you played the Tour, so you know the difference in how they set those up comparatively. But especially championship courses, people think of a scratch golfer. Scratch golfer is nothing on the PGA Tour. Those guys are +3, +5.
You're scratch. You're not.
And I told the story before that I played at Oak Hill in college. We played around Quake Country Club at their home, and it shared ground with Oak Hill. There was a fence between us and Oak Hill, and University of Rochester played Oak Hill, so we would play them, and we played in their invitational. Well, we played Oak Hill in 1980, 2 weeks before the PGA Championship was there. So they had to rough up.
You got a good
things
taste.
Were narrowed.
Yeah.
The grandstands were up. All the lines, the TV camera lines were in the stand, and I got a taste of it. And when I tell you I struck the ball as well as and I was playing pretty decent college. I was Division III college golf, but I was playing pretty halfway decent golf. Anyway, I went out there and I struck that ball beautifully. I ripped it down the middle. I played as well as I could play. I got inside my car for 91. And you know what? I was like, all right, that's about it. On 13, Oak Hill a little bit, I would think.
Yeah.
On 13, the Hill of Fame, they're going up. I hit it. Now, of course, this is persimmon. I'm not hitting today's technology. But I hit 3-wood, 4-wood, 4-iron to the green on a par 5. They don't build, the way the technology is now with the equipment, and I hate it for a place like Oak Hill because I think they've been kind of phased out in terms of you can't stretch it anymore. And I don't know what the answer is from an equipment standpoint, where the tour can go with that.
Yeah, I've heard rumblings too. Hey, it's the ball. I don't know about that. These kids are 6'4" now.
Yeah.
In incredible shape. Are generating. Look at the club head speed. I mean, it's you're swinging 128, 130 miles an hour. I mean, I'm coming out of my shoes to get to 100.
Yeah,
and they're just sitting.
They look like linebackers.
They're in great shape. Yeah,
that was the Tiger effect. I think they got in the gym. They did some things there, and then you'd have a guy who's not in great shape, like John Daly, who was never in great shape, but had incredible flexibility and speed, and it is the speed. But I do think that the equipment itself, I don't know if it's the ball as much as it is the clubs. It just seems like the sweet spot is so much bigger.
Yeah, the ball doesn't move as much anymore. The ball's harder. The club face is metal. It's coming off of there. It's hard to
shape it.
It's hard to shape it right, left, draw. I mean, I could duck hook a sand wedge in college. You can't.
I miss that part of the game.
I do too.
I don't know where to say. I'm older than you. I'm 61 years old now, right?
54 here.
54. So I played in college tour blades. Remember the tour blade?
Oh, yeah. I did too.
That's what I played in college. And that thing now, if you put it next to the ball now, it looks like
tiny.
It looks tiny. But man, could we shape the ball? I mean, you could snap it around. You could slice it out of a spot if you needed to.
And the feel.
The feel
coming off of a persimmon 3-wood or 4-wood. I mean, that Bellata ball. It's just like it's just love.
It used to land like a sock.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
God.
You just hit it. And it was a different kind of a game for sure. But it's funny because I'm a bit of a club collector, as a lot of us are, I guess, in golf. But I kept Tony Pena, McGregor, Iamatic. I kept those old drivers and woods. And my sons look at them and they laugh. I mean, they're like, my God, the ball looks so huge next to it.
No doubt.
And I say, wait a minute, check out my putter. Now I have Callaway, I have the modern, and I got the shafts that I never thought I would play, the wimpy shafts and everything else now. But I still use an Acushnet bullseye putter.
Really?
I do. It's just something about this putter that feels so perfect. I can't use anything. And I have like everybody else, I got a bag full of putters. And the only thing that ever came close to it was the what was it, the 88. The Palmer 8802.
Yeah.
Got an 8802. Had an Odie Chrisman at one point in time and putted with that for a while. But that Acushnet bullseye putter, the ball looks like a basketball next to it.
Yeah.
But something about the feel of it. Plus it has an old leather grip with the flat front. And it's just perfect. And my sons laugh their ass. So they see that thing I handed to them. I go, here's my putter. And they look at it and they just get such a kick out of it. But you know what I mean?
It's what you're like. I've got a Ping B61 that I bought at Valley Hill Country Club when I was 15 years old, and it's coming back into my bag now because it's just something that my eyes were trained to look at, and I don't. Yeah, there's better putters out there. Yeah, probably not. But the other thing is that that ball being so hard, it's not a thud feel, it's a click feel, and so it doesn't react the same. So those softer faces that Callaway is great coming up with, and they're putters. But Odyssey putters, and do I need that? Probably. So we'll do some.
Well, the funny thing is that you talk about 100 mile an hour swing speed. When I play with the young guys, mostly my sons, when I play with them, I'll hit one and it's flush and it feels great. You know what I mean? It's just like ooh, hammered that one. You know what I mean? It just feels good, and I felt like I swing as hard as I could possibly swing and have any kind of control. Had a nice little draw on it, land out there, and they airmail it like it's nothing. And I'm like, what are you doing that I'm not doing? And you're right. I think it's 125 mile an hour swing speed versus 100, but it's just crazy to see how far these guys hit the ball. When I see here on number 1 at the ledges, and they built another tee. I mean, it's a knockdown 9-iron from the back tee to the senior tee. I mean,
and
it's
they're
crazy.
hitting 3-wood sand wedge to it.
And they're
you and I are hitting driver 7-iron.
It's just crazy the way the way it is now. But on the champions, they're fair a little bit to you guys on the champions, right? I mean,
these guys are, they haven't really missed a beat. They're in great shape too. Most of the guys out there, your Brant, these guys are hitting at 300 yards too. But they're doing it every day,
right?
And I probably could do that too if I did it every day. But the golf courses, I was expecting the golf courses on the champions to be a little bit shorter than what they are.
Yeah,
it's
no 6,800.
It's minimum.
Really?
Yeah, so.
When I turned 50, I can't tell you how fast I ran up to the next tee. I just told everyone, I said, "The hell with all of you! I just turned 50. I'm going to that next tee."
No doubt, make it fun. Make it fun. Yeah. That's right. For you and I, we need to make it fun as much as possible, and for the normal players.
Is there anything wrong with my favorite course in the world? Is Harbortown. And I've played Hawaii. I've played lived in Florida, played a lot of places. Harbortown, it's a shot maker's course. What is wrong with having a shot maker's course? You know what I mean?
It's very unique, and that one will probably never need to be extended.
No,
because there's so much. I've never played a place. I love that place too. I've never played another golf course that you could be in the right center of the fairway and have no shot whatsoever to the green. And it's just how the greens are designed and laid, and Spanish moss, and just an incredible venue for those that haven't been there. I highly recommend it. But
it's okay to have holes where you hit a 4 off
that's
the tee.
Right.
You know
what
I mean?
And
it's okay to do that. It's okay to have number 9 there. Is nothing, but that green, being
you better hit it. You better hit it in the. You better not get it too close to the green, up behind the tree, or you can't get you can't even get a sand wedge over this thing.
Yeah,
but it's.
And I like the old tee at 17 better than I did the new when they moved it. I kind of liked it when it was off to the right there. I know they swung it around a little bit. Now it's
so 17. The par 3 is
back to the Calabogie sound.
When I the last time I played there, which probably was 5 or 6, the 16th green was here, and you walked off the 16th green and went a little bit over to the left.
Yes, to the left. It used to be way to the right.
Okay.
Now, I haven't played there in 20 years, but it used to be to the right, and you had a different angle, and I preferred that green now than what they have got. Now, the other thing about that course is that it's deceptive on 18 as to how big the landing area is. You know what I mean?
It sure is wide, but it sure is narrow.
It is narrow. It is narrow. It's not deep. I mean, it is not deep, but your eye wants to take you to the right.
Sure.
Everything wants to take you to the right, and it takes that certain amount of precision to hit it to that spot on the left. And you're right. There are times where you miss it, and you're better off on the left than you were, down the right side. But that's the best approach shot in there.
Well, by far.
If you can possibly be somewhere on that little peninsula or whatever you want to call it.
Right. I'm shooting away from the water. I may hit it over there by the out of bounds, which is right there off to the right, but it's way over there. Now I've got to angle over the bunker, stop it quick, or I'm in the water on the other side.
Yeah, so. Courses like that, Talk about these guys here, too, because these guys, they can golf their ball.
Yes,
I mean, this is not the difference. The difference I honestly believe is infinitesimal. Our kid Lee Hodges, our Huntsville kid, he qualified last year. Now to this year, he's a rookie on the PGA Tour. He's got a 3rd and a 9th already. Right, he's got over $800,000.
Yep.
It's March.
Yep.
The leaves haven't bloomed yet. He's got over $800,000 already this year in winnings, and he was T41 here last year. These guys are ready to play, and have this scenario now where top 25 automatically get their card. That's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it's just a fine line that the guys that will be here at the Huntsville Championship versus the guys that are playing on the PGA Tour making hay.
Yeah,
is the finest line. And it's time. The field here will be younger than the field on the PGA Tour, but they'll we'll have, like you said, 25 of these guys we'll be watching them next year on the PGA Tour.
Yeah,
and probably the next 25 as well.
Yeah,
so.
Well, I mean that's the way it is, and there's pressure on the bottom 25 at the PGA Tour will drop off, and you have a number of guys that will be playing here next month that are trying to get their card back.
Right.
And you went through that. You went through playing both tours and going back and forth, and it's. I suppose that it's humbling to a certain extent, but you really realize then how good the players are, out there.
Without a doubt.
And how good. It's different. The other deal is there's so many European players now that are coming over and Asian players that are coming over. They don't come through this. They just seem to qualify through whatever exemption, and boom, there they are. They're on the PGA Tour, and
right.
and so that's a whole other aspect to deal with. You in the prime of your career didn't really deal with that quite as much. You had guys, Sevy, and you had those guys that were playing, Nick Faldo and so on, but it didn't seem to be as prevalent as it is now, where they come from every country.
No, right. I mean, the PGA Tour, back when Tim Fincham was the director of the PGA Tour, and you had Tiger coming on the scene. That was my era. I got my card in '97. Tiger got his '96, and the purses went.
Yeah.
I mean, through the roof. Not as much globally as they did in the U.S. And I mean, where do you want to play for $10 million this week or $4 million? Well,
right.
I think I'll go across the pond and play for $10 million. And I think they've done a fairly good job globally for global golf. Those guys are in Europe and Asia. They're in Canada. They're playing good golf too.
Yeah.
Why not have an avenue for that top echelon to come over and play the PGA Tour as well?
And I still think it's all about the PGA Tour. And I did a number of shows over the years when I was in Florida at the Shark Shootout at Tiburon. And Greg would come on. Greg Norman would come on the show, and he, of course, he always wanted to talk about the Miami Dolphins. It was more about talking about other sports than it was golf.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. And I always. I always enjoyed my time with him, and I thought, this is good. And then when he got behind this whole thing to start this new league, and all the money that was involved, and now you look at the impact on Phil Mickelson, who's not playing at, Phil Mickelson not playing at Augusta, 51 years old or otherwise. I mean, it's just devastating, and it just seemed like such a wrong-headed thing for these guys to think that they could create a breakaway tour. I think that there's enough opportunity within the PGA Tour where you can play. You don't have to play 60 events. There's guys that are playing 15 or 18 events and so on. And but that whole thing about a super league, I didn't understand it, and it just seems to really crumble and hurt a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what is going on or what's going to happen with that. Why would you jeopardize an entity that you made hundreds of millions of dollars off of? And you that greedy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but it seems wrong. Now we'll see how it all plays out. But be careful to not bite the hand that feeds you. So,
well, when you heard, it reminds me in football of back in the day when guys like Larry Zonka and them left the NFL to go play in the WFL and these other leagues, and it just derailed their careers. And it's like, you think it's better, but it's not necessarily better. When you got Brooks Koepka and then Bryson DeChambeau and some of these guys that are the hot shot saying, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going over there. That's the death now.
Why? Why would you?
Why would you?
This is home.
Right. Yeah. This track, just finish up where we started here. We're at the Ledges, overlooking Huntsville, 1,500 feet above Huntsville. So it seems like you would want to have a full bag of balls when you play this joint. You wouldn't want to get the hooksies or spray it.
Don't hit it left. If you're a right-hander, you do not want to hit it left. If you're a left-hander, you don't want to hit it left.
Yeah.
But, it is. Zoysia fairways. They're gonna shoot good numbers.
Yeah.
You got good greens and Zoysia fairways. That's a recipe for success.
Yeah.
Weather's always an issue, or could always be an issue, but
I would imagine wind would be the worst thing up here. You get some wind.
I don't know if we had any last year. I can't really remember. I don't think it was too bad. But April, you can have
anything.
You can have you can have pretty much whatever. But they proved last year. 16 under, I think, was the winning.
15 to make the playoff. Yeah,
okay.
And then, so it was three guys that had 15 under to make that playoff.
And that's just good golf. I mean,
that's a good number.
And this place is long. You're not getting 40 yards roll on Zoysia fairways. You're hitting, especially if it's damp at all. And I know, they don't. They're flying at 300 yards, but you're still from the back tips here. It's every bit of a challenge that they want, and there's some nuances. I think as you go forward here, and players that come back that remember little nuances about the greens, and hey, it looks like it goes this way, but it doesn't. It goes this way. Probably the scores will get a little better, but it's still.
Does everything break towards the valley? Does that really happen?
It depends on what side of the mountain you're on.
Yeah.
If everything, where we sit, everything's going towards Old Grissom High School. And then on the other side, on the east side of the very narrow strip that's up here, it's going to go towards Hampton Cove. So just got to pay attention to where you're at. And
Tiff Eagle, these greens? Do you know what they are?
I don't know.
Yeah. I heard they roll really well.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
They always have been, and they may be. I don't know if they just replaced them or they're getting ready to. I mean, these are old greens. If they haven't replaced them, they're old. But they're in fantastic shape. Always have been.
Yeah.
Well, they do a great job up here.
Beautiful setup. I mean, absolutely beautiful setup.
Does.
Spike McCrory has been our guest. Spike, I appreciate you so much. Good luck in your endeavors going forward.
Thank you.
And, tear it up a little bit on the champions. That'd be fun.
We'll give it an effort.
That'd be fun. All right. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. That's Spike McCrory, former PGA pro. And, man, there were some times where he was well up there on that leaderboard. It's a tremendous job. All right, we're going to get a break in here. When we come back, well, you know what? We're going to go open phone lines. Anybody that's listening right now ever played the Ledges? I'd love to hear your thoughts about the Ledges if you ever played the Ledges. And we'll talk a little bit about what's going on at the NFL meetings. And there are some changes that are in play. We'll talk about that next right here on the Thom Abraham Show from the Ledges on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up
Just
now.
over a week to go until the start of the Major League Baseball season. The Atlanta Braves plus 135 to win the NL East. The New York Mets, the favorite, at plus 125. The Phillies plus 550. The Marlins plus 1,000. And the Washington Nationals plus 3,000. The Toyota Owners 400 at Richmond Raceway on Sunday. Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott co-favorites at plus 900. Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, and Joey Logano each at plus 1,000. The NIT Final Four tonight at Madison Square Garden. St. Bonaventure takes on Xavier in Game 1 with the Bonnies a 1.5-point favorite. The over-under at 140. In Game 2, Washington State a 1.5-point underdog against Texas A&M. The set total at 133. I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The world champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their world championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
Here goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. You betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. I'm sorry, I can't operate on that vehicle.
But doctor, you took an oath.
That RV, it's my son's RV.
Oh, doctor, isn't there anything you can
I'm not a miracle worker, Sheila. I'm an RV surgeon, trained to save the lives of large, injured recreational vehicles, which is definitely a real profession.
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
I love overpriced stuff. Avocados, designer t-shirts, artisanal water. That's why I get my internet from the other guys. Paying more for the same stuff. What could be better?
Wow is better. For just $19.99 a month, we give you the super fast, extra reliable internet you need. Act now before this deal is gone. Internet 100 for just $19.99 a month. Plus, learn how to get up to $300 on us. Sign up at Huawei.com. Wow. Limited to new customers with auto pay and paperless billing. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Outdoor season is coming. Can't wait.
Here at Brooks & Collier, neither can we. Outdoor season is also grilling season.
And we have plenty of grills and smokers in stock. From Traeger, Blaze, and Big Green Egg.
There's the greenhouse. New indoor items and home furnishings as well.
Whatever it takes. Browse over 2 acres of furnishings. Can't wait.
How about you? North Alabama's indoor and outdoor living headquarters for over 75 years.
813 Meridian Street and at brooksandcollier.com.
If you understand just how helpful animal-assisted therapy can be, then consider helping with Therapy Partners, registered teams of handlers and animals working in healthcare, education, and military facilities across the Tennessee Valley. Become a volunteer handler team. Volunteer with our Partners Achieving Literacy program in schools, at community events, or partner financially. Learn more at therapypartners.org. That's therapypartners.org.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly to mostly cloudy sky for your Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. Somebody could see 80 degrees. Would not be the least bit surprised if somebody over in northwest Alabama did in fact see 80 degrees. We only drop into the upper 50s and lower 60s as we head into the overnight. Upper 70s and lower 80s consistently on Wednesday afternoon. We are going to be dealing with some rather breezy conditions on Wednesday. Sustained winds 20 to 25 miles per hour. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, more of the Thom Abraham Show on your home for Crimson Tide Sports, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
Brought to you by the Orthopedic Center. For all your injury needs, it's the Orthopedic Center. No matter what kind of injury, a sports injury or work injury, whatever it is, it's the Orthopedic Center. And don't forget, it's not always about surgery. Sometimes it's just therapy that you need. They can take care of you. They got locations all over the Tennessee Valley. The Orthopedic Center is there for you. And I got to tell you, Grizz, broadcasting here from high atop Huntsville at the Huntsville Classic Media Day.
Beautiful.
That's what's going on now, the Media Day. You've got everybody inside having lunch, and they brought me, Spike McCrory just brought me lunch.
That's
so
what's up.
I thought that was really good. My son is here.
Self-serve.
Intern John. Yeah.
Oh,
Intern
good.
John
Glad he's
is
feeling
here.
better. Glad he's feeling better.
Yeah, he's feeling good enough to be here. He's taking some good pictures, and you're going to be able to see some pictures of everything. He's going to take some video of Steve and Scott's swings and some of their shots. So he's going to kind of take a little bit of video of that. He, however, came out eating a wrap. It did not bring me one. Spike McCrory brought me one, but my own son didn't bring me one. Spike brought me out this beautiful wrap that you can see, those of you that are watching on the TV. It's a whole wheat wrap, turkey, cheese, lettuce. I think there's a tomato inside. So I got to go in and get the tomato out, Chris. I'm not a tomato guy.
I'm not a tomato guy.
I don't know about
either,
you.
to be honest with you. I mean, but if I was given something, I'd probably end up eating it. I probably wouldn't even notice.
The tomato doesn't seem like it's a done food to me. Tomato seems like something that needs to cook a little bit longer or do something.
I like a nice bruschetta. I like a nice bruschetta. I like ketchup.
Oh,
I like pizza. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like tomato sauce, stuff like that. But it's just something
love
about
tomato
tomatoes.
sauce and I love ketchup.
It's the texture. It's all about texture with food.
Yeah.
It's just tomatoes
tomato
are weird,
sauce,
man. Tomatoes are weird.
I like ketchup.
It's like
the
onions.
Tomato itself needs to be.
It's like onions.
Yeah.
It's like I don't like
Needs to be
raw
more
onions. I like sautéed onions. I don't like raw onions. I don't like smell. I don't like eating feet. I mean, it just smells like you're eating feet. It's gross.
So the NFL meetings are going on. Owners meetings are going on. One of the things that they've adopted, all 32 NFL teams are going to hire a minority offensive assistant coach for the 2022 season. The ones that don't already have that, and it's part of a series of ongoing policy enhancements announced yesterday to address the league's ongoing diversity efforts. Now, the coach could be either a woman or a member of an ethnic or racial minority. And the coach must work closely with the offensive staff and the head coach and will be paid by the league. It's a league-wide fund to pay these coaches to try and get more offensive minority coaches. Now, defensive minority coaches, it's grown to the point where, half the defensive coordinators in the NFL are African American. Half of them. They're 15 out of 32, so just under half of the defensive coordinators are African American, and most of the DB coaches, the linebacker coaches, the defensive assistant coaches, in most cases, are African Americans, and it makes some sense because most of the defensive players are African Americans, and you do get players. I always say, when it comes to being a head coach, when it comes to being certain players, offensive coordinators and things like that, it's not always players, ex-players, that assume those roles. Many times it's guys that never coached before, never played before. Josh McDaniel and Bill Belichick and Andy Reid and all of these guys, they never played the game at the NFL level or even at a high college level. But they're coaches. Coaches coach, players play. The interesting thing about the push with women is that most of the women, if not all of the women, never played at any level. At any level. And I don't know why we feel so compelled to push women into coaching. I don't understand why it feels like, if there's one that's got, that's good and it's got opportunity, fine, but why do we have to force an opportunity? There's about a dozen women now that are on staffs and so on, but you would think that you would want to have some sort of experience in the game. It's a game that is played by men. Is it okay to be coached by men? Do we have to force this? And, even when coaches in the league, there are 5 head coaches, and they say, well, this is a real problem because there are only 5 African-American head coaches in the NFL, and that the NFL clearly did not meet its goals of how many, whatever its goals are. I didn't realize that they had a number, a figure in mind, that it didn't meet its goals in having enough African-American head coaches. Well, 5 out of 32 is 15% of the coaches in the NFL are African American. Well, 12% or 13% of society is African American. And you say, well, yeah, but in the NFL, 70% of the players are African American. Again, players don't necessarily coach. Now, in many cases, you get guys that played that maybe were not stars. They did not make monster money. They played 3 or 4 years in the NFL. They were backup, whatever, and they were a cornerback or they were a wide receiver or whatever, and then they go into coaching because they didn't make a fortune as a coach. And so they'll go into coaching to continue their career in the game. Guys who make big money, right, the big-time players, they're not going into coaching. Yeah, it's not just that Myles Garrett is never going to be an NFL coach. I just don't see that. Aaron Donald is not going to be an NFL coach. You're not going to go from making $20 million a year to making $890,000 a year as a position coach or even $1 million a year. Even a head coach in the NFL averages around $7 or $8 million a year. Why would these guys go through all of the aggravation? For a coach that makes $7 or $8 million a year as a head coach, that's the most money he's ever made in his life. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, those guys, they're not going to become coaches. They're not going to be coaches. They're running backs. Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, they're making $10, $12 million. They're not going to be coaches. They need that aggravation for half their pay or less if they're position coaches. I mean, it doesn't necessarily work that way, and I don't understand why we feel like we have to push it, to get to this point where, hey, we're going to force hiring these coaches. There's no number of coaches limits or anything like that, so the league is going to provide you with another coach. And they want them on the offensive side of the ball because most of the head coaches that are being hired are coming from the offensive side of the ball. Well, if that's the case, you need to have more minority coaches on the offensive side of the ball because even though half of the defensive coordinators in the league are African American, the DCs aren't getting jobs as head coaches. Spike already brought me one. Spike Moulton just came out with food for me. So, wait a minute, I want the chips. The chips are really good. Now Moulton took it. My son still hasn't brought me food, but Moulton has brought me food, and Spike brought me chow. Man, this is a good job by you. Maybe
beautiful food.
Hey, how fired up are you about?
What's up?
Yeah, hey, box that one up. Send it back to Chad.
No, I'm good.
How fired up are you about playing golf, Steve? When was the last time you played?
5 years ago.
5 years. Steve hasn't played as long as I haven't played. 5 years. How many times did you play before that?
Quite a bit.
Oh, you used to play a lot of golf? Are you a what would be a normal round for you back in the day? I mean, when you were playing decent, I mean, you out shoot 90? Oh, you played high school golf? Steve Moulton joining us here for a couple of minutes before I run into the break that he wants me to take like now. You played high school golf?
I did.
All right, so you played golf at a pretty decent level and at some particular point in time?
Yeah, best round of golf was at East Lake.
East Lake in Atlanta?
Yeah,
oh, nice.
Was 78.
Well, that's good. That's good play. That's golfing your ball. All right, so you know your way around. Why haven't you played in 5 years then? Why don't you play anymore? Life.
So there's this thing called a radio station.
Yeah.
So it attracts a lot of attention. So, yeah, it's time for a break.
Yeah. All right. We got to get a break in here. Steve's going to go out. What are you going to shoot on the front nine?
Hoping for a 44.
I'll tell you what, you'd be really happy, I would think, if you shot 40. You haven't played in 5 years, go out and shoot 44 in the front.
I'd be good with that.
Or just stop at 44. It might be 7 holes in. You just stop 44, that's it. That's what you shot. All right, that's Steve Moulton. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back with a final segment next and wrap it up. Speaking of wrap, I'm going to eat my wrap. Right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Hey, Huntsville, listen up.
The demand for lakefront property on Lewis Smith Lake is growing and the supply is depleting. We've got lakefront, lake access, and RV properties for one day only, April 9th. Gentle sloping, wooded home sites, and RV sites on dockable water, all surrounded by Bankhead National Forest. Complete with lakefront clubhouse, swimming pool, boat ramp, and community docks in a private gated community. Over 1 acre of lakefront, just $59.9. Gentle sloping, full-time dockable RV sites starting at $99.9. If you know Smith Lake, you know full-time RV sites to have your own dock on are a rare find. You do not want to miss this. Call 877-BIG-VIEW for more information. One day only, Saturday, April 9th. Call 877-BIG-VIEW for more information. That's over 1 acre, $59.9. Full-time RV site on dockable lakefront, only $99.9. 877-BIG-VIEW to arrange a visit Saturday, April 9th. Call or click 877bigview.com.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
For over 20 years, Audio Insight has been designing and installing systems that integrate today's technology into homes and businesses all over the Tennessee Valley. At Audio Insight, they don't provide one-size-fits-all system solutions. Instead, they design your system from the ground up based on your valuable input. By working closely with you, Audio Insights can ensure that your system will meet your performance, budget, and aesthetic needs. Visit the showroom at 1229 Putman Drive off Jordan Lane and experience some of their fine products firsthand. Visit audio-insight.com to learn more.
When we say local, we mean local, not Birmingham.
Loser.
We are the only sports talk station in Huntsville. It's all right here. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've got a magical glow.
So I'm going to watch it on TV.
The game's on. Oh, I almost forgot. I'll be right there.
We like sports and we don't care who knows. From shooting hoops to the Super Bowl. We like sports and we don't care who knows.
Football, tennis, hockey, golf.
The game is starting. Everyone is here. I got my snacks, my friends, and a beer.
So I'm going to watch it on TV.
Are you ready for the football? A Monday night party!
So I'm going to watch it on TV. So I'm going to watch it on TV.
Give me out 55. What to watch on TV tonight is brought to you by Dave Bond and the excellent crew at Audio Insight. We've appreciated their support throughout the last couple of 3 months or so, and hopefully you learned a lot about Audio Insight and what they can do for you. They can make sure that you get the right package done, you know, whether it's in your home or at your business, whether it is, you know, a surround sound system, whatever it is that you need, Audio Insight gets it done. They work with your contractor and they'll completely build up all kinds of, all kinds of systems for you within a house that work with the builder and make sure that you get exactly what you need to get it done right. It's Audio Insight. Go to Audio Insight. audio-insight.com. That's audio-insight.com. Grizz, who won the Chicks games last night? Did Connecticut win?
Yeah, I think it was double overtime. So, I mean, you've got, I think, 3 number ones?
3 1s in Connecticut, which is a 2, which is a joke. Connecticut.
So, I mean,
3 1s in Connecticut.
You got to give NC State credit. I watched a little bit of that. Them beat Notre Dame over the weekend, and then to be able to go toe-to-toe and no, but it's the women's bracket. I mean, I expected the UConn's a number 2, but I don't believe that. I mean, they, it just seems like I think
UConn
every single if they don't make the tournament, it's a terrible. I mean, if they don't win the whole thing, it's a terrible year for UConn women. So, they make the tournament every single year. It seems like.
All right, I'll tell you what, Grizz.
Yeah.
Since I'm off the rest of the week, how about a little bit of tournament minutia? How about a little bit of tournament minutia that we can get in here? This NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Grizz, there was a time where the NIT was considered the big tournament.
Right.
And the NIT actually started, the National Invitation Tournament started before the NCAA tournament started. The NIT started in 38, and the NCAA tournament started in 39 with just 8 teams. And for years, all the way into the 50s, it was really a bigger deal to be in the NIT to be in the NCAA. They kind of reversed roles when it came to that. The first NCAA tournament took place in 1939. Oregon won that first NCAA championship. It was until 1951 before it grew to 16 teams. By 1975, it was 32 teams. Then it went to 48 teams, and they had byes. They had a bunch of teams that played, like a dozen teams would play, and then they had byes. And so it grew to 48 teams and then on to 64 teams. It was 1985 before we had 68 or 64 teams in the tournament. The 68th team is pretty recent. The whole March Madness thing was actually originally in a reference to the Illinois high school tournament. And it was an Illinois high school official, Henry Porter, that coined the term March Madness in 1939. But it would not be until 1982 before Brent Musburger used it in the coverage of the 82 tournament, where he used that term March Madness, and it stuck, obviously, from then. One of the most fascinating things I found was this one shining moment thing, which, to me, I think is horrific. You like it, right? You're one. You stay up and you wait for one shining moment.
I can care less, honestly.
You don't wait until after half hour postgame you see the one shining moment?
No, I'm good. I'm honestly okay.
Originally, one shining moment was supposed to air after the 1987 Super Bowl. That's the Super Bowl that the Giants beat the Broncos, and they beat them bad. 39-20, I think, was the score.
Yeah.
Phil Simms was 23 out of 25 and was the MVP. And they were supposed to play it after that Super Bowl. Well, the game went long, and they didn't have a chance to play one shining moment after the Super Bowl. So they shelved it and brought it back a couple of months later at the end of the basketball tournament. And it became otherwise it would be played at the end of every Super Bowl. They would play one shining moment at the end of every Super Bowl.
I would hate that. I would absolutely hate that. I'll take whatever halftime show, whatever they want to do. Maybe they could play a song of theirs at the end or something like that. I don't know. I'll take that over
Duke.
One shining moment.
Duke is in the Final Four, obviously. They own the largest comeback and the second largest lead blown in NCAA tournament history. In 2001, Duke came back from down 22 points to beat Maryland. That's the biggest comeback ever in any March Madness game. In 1989, they lost to Seton Hall. They were leading by 18 and got beat by Seton Hall in 1989. That's the biggest blown lead of all time. Christian Laettner is the tournament's all-time leading scorer, 407 points. I don't think there's only 9 players in the history of March Madness that have over 300 points. I don't think we'll ever see again somebody score 407 points because they leave. There's no, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're not there for 4 years. I don't think that. I think that's it. Most points ever scored in a game. Austin Carr for Notre Dame scored 61 in 1970 against Ohio, and Loyola Marymount, who you don't even know who they are. They have been part of the 3 highest scoring games in NCAA tournament history. They won 149-115 over Michigan in 1990. It was the highest scoring game ever in the history of March Madness. So there you go. There's some March Madness minutia for you from the folks here at the Ledges and the Huntsville Championship. I want to thank everybody associated with the tournament that made it possible for us to be here today on Media Day. We'll be back for the tournament itself in a month. Keep an eye on all our social media channels. There'll be a bunch of video and pictures posted as well from the activities that are going on here today. I am Thom Abraham. Chuck Oliver is coming up next. And this is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Our customers want best-in-class solutions. That's why we've recently added many new vendors like Zebra barcode printers. Our next level team has added premier automation solutions. We're not here to sell you just one product, and we love helping you find the right solution to your specific needs. That's what doing the right thing is all about, and that's why our customers have come back for over 50 years.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental. Coming in April, Valley will have a second location opening up on the North Parkway between Winchester Road and Bob Wade. They'll be offering bigger contractor-only type equipment